This is Fox News host and conservative political commentator Gina Loudon, and she recently unhinged her jowls to say this.
I should have known it's Holly Weird. I should have known they'd try to make it woke in the ways that they could think of. Let's just start with the fact that they have Ariana Grande, who is obviously a Hispanic woman, playing the part of a ditzy blonde white really villain when it comes right down to it. The racism and the racial appropriation I just thought was offensive, frankly. All white people aren't dumb and evil, and I just get kind of sick of that storyline, and I feel like...
Okay, so a few issues. First and foremost, Ariana Grande is Italian-American. Her mom and brother actually have Italian passports. Second of all, Hispanic has nothing to do with race. It means to be part of a Spanish-speaking culture. So you can be black and Hispanic, white and Hispanic, brown and Hispanic, etc. Third, race is a social construct, like gender, and it's interesting how people on the conservative side of the spectrum love to say, well, we can tell who belongs in which category. As Gina said in the video, obviously, Ariana Grande is Hispanic. It's very clear that they cannot tell in the way that they claim. And finally, I just find it interesting how someone who has made their whole life about political commentary doesn't understand a political allegory like the book Wicked, when the author has been very clear that the wickedness of the book is inspired by things like Hitler's policies and Bush-era politics. But going back to race and gender being social constructs, this is really important to understand about white supremacy. They like to pretend that there are these finite, defined rules about how you fit in these categories, in these different class systems, these social constructs that they've made, when really it's very arbitrary. We've seen it with race before with the one-drop rule. When they wanted more slaves, they said, hey, there's more black people. But when it comes now to voting rights, we see with gerrymandering, they're trying to say, well, you know, if you're not black enough, I don't know if I want to include you in these classifications for the purposes of gerrymandering and providing more majority black districts, right? We see this time and again. And when it comes to gender, same thing. They have attacked cis women who don't fit into the narrow category of womanhood that white supremacy has defined. And this just goes to show that if you thought you were safe from white supremacy because you fit in a certain category, just remember that it doesn't take much for you to not fit in that category anymore. If it suits them, they will boot you out and they will come for you too. And if you don't believe me, just remember how quickly that they took Ariana Grande's white privilege behind and booted her out of their category as soon as it benefited their politics.